name's Chris Dickerson. I'm the owner of the Woodbridge Running Company. I started running when I was 15 years old, so pretty close to 35 or 36 years of consistent running. I coach at Quinnipiac University, and this is my 10th year at Quinnipiac. Prior to that, I coached for 16 years at Amity High School. At Amity High School, we had a new principal, and he was a runner, and he asked if he could come out on a run with us one day. So we took him out on a run, and we're running through the woods, through some trails, and it was raining, and he did a huge face plant on the run, and I immediately thought, I'm gonna get fired. And we got back to school, and he said, "Thanks so much, that was the best run I've ever had." He loved it. We've been here a little over 19 years. We opened August 26th, 1999. Between 5 and 8 per week that work mainly part-time. We have one person who's a manager who works mostly full-time. And then I'm in and out all the time between coaching and that.
My name is Leah. I've been working at the store for 11 years, part-time. So Chris, the owner of the store, was also, 10 years ago, he was the coach at Amity High School, and my daughter ran there, and she ran for him. So that's how I met him. Yeah, he was a great coach. Yeah, he was very inspirational. He dealt really well with the girls. And yeah, they all just really admired him. And he was a very good runner. And he was still competing back then. So it was kind of fun. We would run, I volunteered as a volunteer coach in her senior year. And we would run with the girls together, and it was great.
The real driver behind opening this store was that in the late 1990s, there were no good running stores in New Haven County. So if we wanted to send our athletes from Amity High School to a running store, we had to send them to Darien, which is over an hour away. So we thought about opening a store and found this location, and 19 years later, here we are.
They're similar to each other. Oh yeah, this is 2000, okay. Size 10.
Okay.
All right.
When a customer comes into the store, if they are having issues with running, we'll basically ask them lots of different questions to try to get a sense of if they're wearing the correct type of running shoe or not, if they've had some injury issues, any sort of shin splints or knee problems, ankle problems. So we try to really devise a plan on what type of running shoes to offer a customer based on the questions that we ask. We would ask them what their running goals are, how much are they running right now. If some of them come in and have never run a step and they want to start running. So we would ask them, okay, what is your short-term and long-term goal as a runner? If it's to run, say, a 5K road race, then we start from there. We do a basic foot analysis, so we watch them walk without shoes on and basically try to determine if we think they need more arch support, or if they have a good arch, they don't need as much arch support. And that helps us kind of steer, it helps us steer in the direction of the type of shoe we want to choose for them. But a lot of it's really give and take with questions, asking them the right questions. Running is interesting because it's humbling. As an athlete, you train very, very hard and you race, and the faster you run, the more it hurts. So runners tend to be a little bit more humble. They don't brag about their performances. You almost have to pull out of them what their performances are. So it's interesting and fun to talk to them about their running history. Often people will come in and say, "How come you don't have our jersey on the wall?" And I say, "You haven't given us one yet." So that's how we collect them. In fact, we had a coach in this morning said, "I got to get you a jersey from our school." So people, they want to have their school represented on the wall. I think it's a really great way to show that we support lots of teams, both high school and college. And I prefer the older ones. If a coach can kind of dig in the back of the office and find me an old jersey, I like those the best. But yeah, it's nice to have them on the wall. It's good talking. When athletes come in and they say, oh, my team's on the wall, it makes a connection with an athlete. We have a partnership with a company in Northampton, Massachusetts that collects used shoes, running shoes, but also dress shoes and casual shoes. And as long as they're not really beat up and worn out, they will clean them up and ship them to Africa, mainly to Kenya, where people just can't afford to buy new shoes. And it's a great organization because they employ people with special needs to do the cleaning and the processing and packaging of the shoes that get shipped to Africa. And the company pays us 50 cents a pound for the shoes, which we donate to autism causes. So it keeps the shoes out of the landfill. It employs people with special needs. Autism causes get some money, and people in Africa get shoes they can afford. So it's like a no-brainer. We got to do that. We send a lot of shoes to them. I can't tell you how many times people come in the store and say, I'm not a runner. And then I say, well, do you run? And they say, yes. I said, then you're a runner. But they don't envision themselves as being a runner if they're not a marathon runner or like an Olympic runner. But anybody, almost anybody can be a runner. And people who are new to the sport or just want to start out or just want to get in shape will come in, and the most important thing is to caution them not to overdo it, because they'll get out and start to run a little bit and get enthusiastic, and often they overdo it and get injured. So we will try to encourage them to follow a very basic training plan to build up when they're starting out. The key is that we want to get them interested in the sport and keep them interested in the sport. The store's doing well. We've been here 19 years. We're going to do a 20th anniversary celebration next year, and we'll probably start to plan that. But I think kind of just keep the same vibe going, really try to build connections with people in the community, runners in the community, and keep that going. Running is such a great way to exercise and a great way for people to stay in shape, and so we just want to continue that.